Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Sir, please unmute yourself.
Good evening, ma'am.
Sir, please unmute yourself. Sir, please unmute. Sir,
Good
please
evening, ma'am.
unmute yourself.
अच्छा, अब हो गया?
Yes, sir. Yes,
आवाज
sir.
आ रही है? हाँ।
Yes, sir.
और कैसी हो?
Good, sir. Good, sir.
Good, very good.
Should we start the session?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. A very warm and graceful good evening to our chief guest of this evening, Professor Dr. Surikant Tripathi, sir, a wonderful speaker of this evening, Dr. Anupam Das, sir, and our co-organizing partner of MACS and also a president of IDA, Dr. Sanjeev Gulati, sir, Dr. Shaili Mahajan, ma'am, and all our delegates of this evening. Though it's very tough task for me to count all the contribution of sir or of our chief guest of today, Dr. Surikant Tripathi, sir, to count all the contribution what he gave for our medical fraternity, but I'll try in a very short time. Okay, Dr. Surikant Tripathi, sir, is the head of Department of Respiratory Medicine, King George Medical University, Uttar Pradesh. He has honored with highest award of Indian Chess Society, Professor S.N. Tripathi Presidential Oration Award. This was awarded to him during NAPCON. This award is the highest honor in the India for his outstanding contribution in field of respiratory medicine. This has been 100th award for him. He got his first award for securing first division in high school. So it's very tough for me to count all that or to mention all the 100 of all his awards. But it is also acknowledged that Dr. Surikant Tripathi, sir, is eminent chest physician and has been president of various organizations. President Indian College of Allergy and Asthma, Applied Immunology, 2018-20. President election National College of Chest Physician in India 2019-20. There's long list of awards of sir. On occasion of being awarded by Indian Chief Society of Professor S.N. Tripathi sir Presidential Oration Award. So very welcome you sir. Now time to introduce our today's. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now it's a time for our guest speaker. No need for any introduction for him also, Dr. Anupam Das, sir. Anupam Das, sir, is a clinical microbiologist and medical microbiology teacher of MBBS and postgraduate students at Ram Manohar Lohia Institute of Medical Sciences in Lucknow. He is presently working in the professor in the Department of Microbiology. After completing his post-graduation in MD Microbiology from the prestigious All Indian Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, he has worked in two other renowned institutes of New Delhi, like Lady Harding Medical College in New Delhi and Maulana Azad Medical College, New Delhi. He has established microbiology and successfully conducting mycology EQS from National Mycology Reference Center, PGI MER, Chandigarh. His goal had always been one day less. One always keeps an effort to reduce the turn around him to reports of the maximal patient benefits. In this ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, he, along with the other faculty member of microbiology and actively involved in managed COVID-19 diagnostic laboratory, which has tested more than 18 lakh samples by RT-PCR till date. It's a big number. His special emphasis has been at the prevention of laboratory-associated infection of the COVID laboratory staff, monitoring the prophylaxis status, and day-to-day adheres the proper infection control practices. Welcome you, sir. Now, I'd like to invite our co-organizer and Dr. Sanjeev Gulati, sir, to please come and give some keynotes to us. Dr. Sanjeev Gulati, sir.
Sir, please unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So, on this ongoing Indian Dental Association Gorakhpur and MSCS Gorakhpur branch, this Skills in Dental Conclave of 2021, we are holding this third session probably now. So, it's a wonderful journey till now. And I must say that MSCS is doing a very good job with IDA Gorakhpur. The topic today is COVID-19 infection control in dental practice. We welcome our chief guest, Dr. Suryakant, who is the head of respiratory medicine, King George Medical College. Dr. Arpita Singh has introduced a lot in detail. So I know you are a great personality, sir, and we all know you so well. So welcome you today for this session, sir. Thank you. And then we have the speaker, Dr. Anupam Das, who is presently working in the capacity of Professor of Microbiology in RML Institute. And he has done a lot of work in microbiology, and it seems he has done more than 18 lakh tests. And it's a great achievement on your part, sir, and we welcome you today. We are honored to have you today as the speaker of this session. We hope to learn a lot from you all. We also have a distinguished guest, Dr. Shelly Mahajan, who is an orthodontist and is posted with Ram Manohar Lohia. Welcome you also, ma'am. And today, I welcome all my dear IDA members, my IDA secretary, Dr. Anurag Shrestha, and all my IDA committee members of the Gorakhpur branch and IDA members of the central branch or other branches also. I welcome all of them. And of course, big applause for the MSCS team, which has a very good team with Dr. Priyanka, Dr. and Dr. Rajkumar. All three of them, along with other members of MSCS, they are doing a very good job. I thank you all for associating with IDA and all other people to educate and impart clinical knowledge, good dental knowledge for dental fraternity as large. So thank you so much. Welcome all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Priyanka Yadav, Director of MSCS Dental Skills, that please come and give some notes about this webinar.
Thank you, Dr. Arpita. On behalf of Team MSCS, we would like to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Suryakant Tripathi, sir, distinguished guest, Dr. Shelly Mahajan, ma'am, Dr. Anupam Das, sir, and our patron, Dr. Sanjeev Gulati, sir, of this session. And it's a pleasure for us that we have many participants from different states of India. And I must say, I would like to say one line because I can see Dr. Suryakant Tripathi, sir, in front of me. He is my guide, my teacher, and my motivator. So I think this line I can say in English, we cannot explain our emotions. So I have written one line I would like to share with you. Okay. सर के जो नेम है सूर्यकांत, उससे बहुत ज्यादा सर की पर्सनैलिटी भी वैसे ही है, तो उस पर मैंने एक लाइन लिखी है क्योंकि एक्चुअली अभी हम वर्चुअली कर रहे हैं, तो टोकन और अप्रिशिएशन में हम और तो कुछ नहीं दे सकते हमारे वर्ड्स के सिवा। लाइन है इस तरह, सूरज को भला हम चिराग क्या दिखाएंगे, सूरज को हम भला चिराग क्या दिखाएंगे, वो तो सूरज है रोशनी से अपनी जहां भी जाएंगे, रोशन जहां को करते जाएंगे। Thank you, everyone. Now I request Dr. Deval Arora to continue the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And a very warm welcome to all delegates, and a very good evening to our chief guest of the evening, Professor Suryakant sir. Also a very good evening to Sanjeev Gulati sir, and our most eminent speaker, Anupam Das sir. So this conclave has been continuing. It's been 2 days since the conclave started. We had a lecture on lasers yesterday. We had talk upon COVID-19 and dental practice management in the morning today, and in the evening session today, we will be talking about something which is very important, which is infection prevention and control module. Now, the government of Uttar Pradesh is also pushing this module in every medical college in the country, be it a private or a public sector college, and as well as all hospitals, as all class 2, class 3, class 1 workers are to be included in this IPC training module as well. So I think most of us who are attached to either a medical college or to a certain hospital have some or the other idea about the infection prevention and control module. And Suryakant sir himself has been an instrumental, played a very instrumental role in developing this module from KGMC, and which has been imparted onto other medical colleges of the state. Also, the AIIMS Delhi module has been very comprehensive. So what we are actually going to talk about today is going to be somewhat a combination of these. And so without taking too much of time, we would straight away be diving into the questions. And so Anupam sir.
Dr. Deval.
Yes, ma'am.
Before starting the session, we would like to request our chief guest, Dr. Suryakant sir, to say a keynote address.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, please, some words of wisdom, some blessings for the conclave. Anything, sir, that you would like to talk to us about, sir?
Thank you, Deval. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Absolutely audible, sir.
Okay. So thank you, Priyanka, for being, of course, with this wonderful evening. And I'm really, of course, very thankful to you, to MSCS, and of course, the Gorakhpur branch of IDA for inviting me and to be part of this wonderful, I think, a long program. Priyanka has told me that basically it is started on 10th of July, and it will go up to the 7th of August. And there would be 9 sessions covering very important aspect of the dental skills. And she has also updated me that this is probably in 2021 in COVID era, this is the first national level conclave in the dental field. So that's also a great achievement for not only the IDA branch of Gorakhpur. Thank you, Dr. Aman. Congratulations to Dr. Gulati also. And of course, congratulations to a whole MSCS team, and of course, especially Priyanka and Amit Ranjan. So, of course, with these introductory words, I have a really great wishes for the grand success of this long virtual, of course, conference. You see, COVID-19 has given us so new normal things to us. And one of the new normal thing is the way of communication, the way of teaching, the way of patient care, everything. So we have seen the virtual conferences, we are doing digital consultations, and we are doing digital conferences. So this online mode, online and virtual mode has become a very important platform for our interaction during these days. With these words, I can just say that during this COVID pandemic, which has spread into the 220 countries of the globe, until date, 18 crore people, more than 18 crore people, yes, you listen correctly, more than 18 crore people have been infected with COVID-19, and around 40 lakhs people have been died with this dreaded pandemic in 2021. So this is the, I think, going to be most dreaded pandemic of this 21st century. If you remember, that was the 100 years back when the Spanish flu was the great pandemic with the great killer, which kills around the 5 crore people. But at that time, there was no medical facility. There was no vaccine. There was no medical facility, no ICU, no ventilator support, nothing. There was no such type of skills organized by MSCS, because at that time, there was no MSCS, no Priyanka, no Deval, no Drapti. It's a very complicated name. I don't know, remember. Drapti or whatever it is, yes. So Drapti, excuse me, I am not able to pronounce you correctly. And of course, there was no Dr. Gulati, the leader of the IDA from Gorakhpur. So that was the reason the medical science was not updated at that time. The skills were not updated. The science were not updated at that time. So we could not save humanity at that time. And around 5 crore people died at that time. But this time, of course, although in last month, a lot of international media blamed the India that so many people have died in India. The India is the worst sufferer country, and India failed to control COVID. This is all fake. This was all cooked news. There is no sense. I can give you the international comparative data to you. Of course, India is the populated country. India is the one of the most populous country, second populous country in the world. But so number may appear more, but if you compare the 10 million cases, so cases per 10 million population, then of course, India is not coming in top 10 countries of the world. As far as the cases is concerned, we are far behind with so many countries, most of the countries of Europe, USA, and so many countries. So we are not in top 10 as far as the cases per million are concerned, number one. Number two, we are not in top 10 as far as the per million mortality is concerned. Even if you see the case fatality ratio, means how many cases occurred and how many died out of these cases. This is called CFR, case fatality ratio. And the case fatality ratio of India is 1.3, while globe average case fatality ratio is 2.1. So we are also far behind as far as the case fatality ratio is concerned. UP is also ahead of national average. UP has case fatality ratio of only 1. So even it is behind, below the national average. So, it is basically, I would, of course, praise the Indian medical and, of course, all our fraternity. We have 10 lakhs doctors of modern system.
Sir, you're muted, sir. Your mic is muted, sir. Sir, am I audible? Your mic is muted, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now you're audible.
Am I audible? Okay. So first, the new, of course, the COVID ICU, which we started in the month of April, around 15th April or so. And that most of the clinical residents and consultants, they were positive. So we will have very compromised type of situation as far as the manpower, faculty power is concerned. So, you know, I have a team leader in terms of so many team leaders from dental faculty. And you will be surprised to know that after 2 weeks of this testing, my dental faculty was competent enough to COVID-19, ICU management, ventilatory management, admission criteria, discharge criteria, stepping up, stepping down, oxygen indication, high flow oxygen. Everything was tuned up within 2 weeks. Within 3 hours, I sensitized them, and I, of course, utilized the dental faculty for the management of COVID-19, and that you must be proud of. All those who are attending this conference, yes, Dr. Surikant utilized the dentist for the management of COVID-19, and I'm proud to say for these dental faculty members and residents that they were so enthusiastic that I could not imagine. I was also having a lot of apprehension when I started this team, that how this dentist, which are limited to the oral cavity, they will manage the heart failure, they will manage the pneumonia, and they will manage the acute adult, of course, respiratory syndrome. So yeah, they manage beautifully all these things, and they manage everything: oxygen management, NIV management, injection, antibiotic management, everything. So this is like, you see, whenever there is a war, and the soldiers, they are fighting the war. Even the doctors posting there, they have to shoot the enemy because this is the emergency duty. And so this was the Pandemic Act. And during Pandemic Act, any healthcare worker can be utilized for the sake, of course, for the purpose of saving humanity. But my special warning is, if you want to really save your community, save your UC society, save your country, then of course, first try to save the fraternity. Because if you are safe, if you are protected, then only you can protect the society and community. So probably that is the theme of today's evening lecture by Dr. Anupam, that how to do the infection control measures during the COVID-19. Oral cavity is said to be the, of course, gateway of infections. There's so many relations with oral cavity infection and so many diseases. So many cardiovascular diseases are related with oral cavity infection. Even as a lung specialist, I can say the chronic bronchitis, bronchiectasis, pulmonary tuberculosis, so many infections are associated with the oral cavity infection. And you are at risk whenever you are, of course, examining the oral cavity. So as a healthcare personnel, as a dental care, as a caregiver to the health caregiver to the society, you must protect yourself by perfect, of course, infection control measure practices. And I think this is the wonderful evening. Of course, you will hear Dr. Anupam, the various strategies for the infection control. And of course, my being the brand ambassador for the COVID vaccination, I always utilize the platform of every webinar. So I will also utilize that. Please do three things. First thing is, whenever you have the opportunity, please vaccinate yourself. Don't refrain yourself from COVID vaccination. This I used to say, this is called biological vaccination. So three types of vaccination I am advocating as a brand ambassador for COVID vaccination of National Health Mission. Number one, follow the biological vaccination, means vaccine. 3 vaccines are available now. It is your choice whether you want to have Covishield, Covaxin, or Sputnik. So go for the biological vaccination and motivate people for vaccination. There is a lot of difference between mortality in non-vaccinated and vaccinated. Vaccinated, but before vaccinated and after vaccinated, don't, of course, put your guards for social vaccination. What is social vaccination in terms of Dr. Surikant's language? The social vaccination means मिलिए तो नमस्ते करिए, हाथ धोते रहिए, बाहर निकल पे मास्क लगाते रहिए, 2 गज की दूरी बनाते रहिए. So this is the package of usually 3 points. Dr. Surikant have 4 points. Namaste, wash your hands, of course, mask and physical distancing. So these are the 4 components of social vaccine. This is the second vaccine which you have to follow. Before biological vaccination and even after vaccination, as Prime Minister said, dawai bhi aur kadai bhi. You see, vaccine does not give you the guarantee that virus will not enter your respiratory tract. Yes, virus will enter. Virus will enter, but it will not harm you. But you can harm others. You can spread to others. So that's why always, whenever you are outside of home, always use the mask. Mask niche hoga, virus andar hoga. So don't do this. The third vaccine I used to say is the vaccine of immunity. So whenever, of course, if there is enough time, you see, immunity does not come in a single day. Actually, immunity process starts from your fetus, intrauterine life. So a lot of things, immunity is a very complex thing. I'll tell you someday different when I'll speak on immunity. It's a very complex thing. But during this time, always try to, of course, modify your lifestyle, like, of course, for the immunity vaccine. And for immunity vaccine, half an hour exercise, half an hour for your body is very important. It may be walking. Walking is the best exercise, or it may be yoga, prana, sadhana, meditation, whatever you want. So what is your choice? Mind it. Going gym and doing exercise does not provide any immunity. Just remember, immunity is, of course, done by simple exercises. Simple exercise. If you do vigorous exercise, more muscle injury, more smooth muscle, smooth tissue injury, more tendon injury, more irreparable loss, and more requirement of healing for this. But simple exercises, for example, walking, so for example, yoga, and yoga is minded, yoga is not an exercise. Exercise means definite postures, with coordination of respiration, with coordination of breathing is called yoga. Simple postures, they are simple exercises, is not yoga. So if you are following the certain postures with coordination of your breathing, when you have to inspire, when you have to expire, when you have to take a deep breath, when you have to exhale in posture positions, this is called yoga. So yoga is postures plus coordination with respiration. It is called yoga. Some people say yoga is exercise. They are doing bakpas. This is not yoga. So, and pranayam is simply the exercise for the lung. So always do pranayam and of course increase your stamina of the lung. Increase the respiratory muscle strength. If your respiratory muscle strength is good by yoga and pranayam, then of course you may fall in the ICU, but you would not have the requirement of ventilator. That is my guarantee. Guarantee of lung specialist, Dr. Surikant, that you have developed your respiratory muscles like Salman Khan's bicep, then of course you will not have requirement for ventilator in your life. So that is, do pranayam, make your respiratory muscles strong, and of course take the guarantee, stamped guarantee from Dr. Surikant that you will not require ventilator in your life. You may fall ill, you may go into ICU, but visit ICU, have a ICU round and just discharge. And that's the spirit. So all three vaccines, use all three vaccines, the biological vaccines, it is your choice, whether it is a Covaxin, Covishield or Sputnik. Then of course, social vaccine, of course, with mask, hand wash, namaste. Don't shake the hand. You see, when you shake the hand, it is not only shaking of the hand, it is the transfer of viruses, bacteria, fungi, everything from each other. So make this physical distance. So make physical distance, hand wash, and don't do shake hand, do namaste. And of course, make physical distancing, put on mask, and whenever there is an opportunity, hand wash or sanitize. And then there is the social vaccine, after social vaccine and biological vaccine, third immunity vaccine, and after exercise and respiratory muscle exercise, make your lung stamina is strong, make your respiratory muscles strong, make your circulation strong by simple walking. Simple walking is the best exercise. And third, the other thing is, of course, diet. Diet is very important, and very simple formula for the diet is that please use Indian thali. This is the vegetarian thali. This is the Indian thali, and this is immunity thali, which is providing, of course, a lot of immunity. And if you go to the fast food and, of course, different things, the non-vegetarian things, they are not providing immunity. They can provide the protein, but not the immunity. If you want really immunity, has become synonymous with two things. The green leafy vegetables, green vegetables and fruits, they provide a lot of immunity. So change your diet, be vegetarian, be strong, and be follow. And simple thing is, if you want to really have, of course, a strong immunity, then of course you have at least one vegetable serving, green vegetable serving, one dal serving in the form of protein, and one fruit serving. This will suffice your dietary requirement for the immunity. So have all three immunity and fight with COVID-19. Definitely, this is my secret of Dr. Surikant also. You have heard that most of the important doctors of the King George Medical University, they have been infected with COVID-19. But a lot of, you see, videos are viral, audios are viral. How Dr. Surikant, he has not infected till date with COVID-19. अब तो लोगों ने कहने दिया है कि कोरोना अगर किसी उत्तर प्रदेश में किसी से डरता है तो वो डॉक्टर सूर्यकांत से डरता है. Probably that's the reason government is sending Dr. Surikant everywhere where there is a lot of corona. पिछले साल कानपुर में ज्यादा कोरोना हुआ, डॉक्टर सूर्यकांत जाइए कानपुर. पिछले साल आगरा में ज्यादा कोरोना हुआ, डॉक्टर सूर्यकांत जाइए आगरा. मेरठ में ज्यादा हुआ कोरोना तो 2 बार डॉक्टर सूर्यकांत आगरा जाइए. अभी मई में बनारस में ज्यादा कोरोना हुआ, प्रधानमंत्री जी के क्षेत्र में जाइए डॉक्टर सूर्यकांत बनारस. So Dr. Surikant has been sent in each and every place where corona viral load is high. And I don't care the viral load of corona because I have been vaccinated. I was the first doctor, first man in King George Medical University who was vaccinated on 16th January. That is the launching of vaccination day. So vaccinate yourself, develop your immunity, and of course, follow the social vaccine, and of course, prevent yourself COVID-19. If your fraternity, your colleagues are protected, then only you can protect the, of course, community. So my all best wishes for the grand success of this conference. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your words of wisdom, sir. And let me just say that how proud we are of you and of your courage, that time and again you have been called upon for your duty. and without fearing, the amount of fearlessness and the amount of courage that you show in the face of such a pandemic is actually commendable. And sir, it's hats off from our side that you are working tirelessly in this field. So thank you so much, sir. You've done so
And,
much for
and
the
say
state.
special thanks that I have converted dentist into the corona specialist.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. So a special thank you to you. And we are extremely, extremely proud of having you as a brand ambassador for vaccination, sir. And just hats off, sir. I have no words to say how proud we are of you, sir. Right at the state level and also at the country level.
And
Thank you
say
so much,
regard to your mama.
sir. Will do, sir. Thank
She
you so
has
much.
taught me in my MBBS days. I don't know whether you don't know or whether you
I
know or
know,
don't.
I know, sir. I know.
Yes.
She relays stories. Right. So with this, we will be directly jumping into the question and answer session. And my first question, which we have received for our eminent speaker for today, Dr. Anupam Das, sir, would be, sir, why is the IPC protocol, like the infection prevention and control protocol, important in the current COVID times? Because, sir, like before starting any program, we have to establish ground zero as to why or what the importance of such a program is. So, sir, we would like to have your comments on it as to why or how this program is important, and how will it help to bring down the infection rate in hospitals or medical colleges across the country. So, your comments, please.
Thank you, Dr. Devil. And thank you, Max Dental Skills, for giving me this opportunity to talk in this in front of this august audience about this pertinent topic at this present pandemic situation, infection control practices. And your first question is, what is the need for this infection control practices? So let me take reference of yesterday's Professor Chandrasekhar. Who took an excellent lecture, that he told that agility is required to move forward so that we all become winners at the end of the COVID pandemic, COVID era. Similar is the situation in case when you think about infection control protocols. Why it is necessary? Because this agility is also required in us to dodge off or to escape the hindrances that come, though the obstacles that are coming in the face of the COVID virus, so that we don't get infected. Like Professor Suryakant sir have enlightened us how to stay safe from COVID in our day-to-day life. Similarly, infection control practices are very much pertinent, very much required to keep ourselves safe in our hospital settings and keep our patients safe from getting infected from other patients who are infected with COVID-19 infections. So this is very much important. And this infection control practices starts with the standard precautions of the all infections. Okay, it's standard precautions of all infections that includes the general terms, general things like the PP, like N95 gloves, mask, everything. Okay, anything that is applicable in any situation. Standard precaution, basically, we think that any sample or any patient is infectious. So we take precautions, certain standard precautions, so that we do not get ourselves infected. That includes the PP, that includes the hand hygiene, the pertinent part, that includes the cleaning of environmental services, that includes the cleaning of patient care articles, that includes the proper disposal of biomedical waste so that someone else doesn't get infected. So all this comes under standard precautions. This infection control precaution of this COVID-19 also starts with this. Then comes the transmission-based precautions, where we have to think about the patient if he is infected with certain kind of pathogen, like in case of COVID-19. What are the ways that the patient or his excretions can infect us or other patients that we are catering to? Okay, so that part is taken care in the transmission-based precautions of infection prevention control precautions. That takes into account the mode of transmission. In case of COVID-19, it's starts with contact transmission.
I think there is some technical error from sir's side.
I think his internet is
Yeah.
giving issues. So we'll wait for him.
तुम कहाँ पे चली गई? कहाँ पे हो?
Please mute. Sir,
I'm
okay.
sorry, there was a connectivity issue.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
logged in.
so-
I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
sir,
yeah,
perfectly
yes,
audible,
yes,
sir.
sir.
Please do
Continue.
continue, sir.
So can you take on the next question? I think I'm clear about the first question.
Yeah.
If anything
Yes.
else is required.
Yes.
Sir, the next question talks more about hand washing and the use of sanitizers, sir. So,
Okay.
one question which comes up repeatedly again and again is we see that the government guidelines say 20 seconds of hand washing, a lot of lather making, or use of sanitizers, wherein they mention that 70% of alcohol content should be there. So basically, so the question goes something like, why or how will hand washing help in case of a viral infection like COVID-19? And sir, why or what is the use of that 70% of alcohol that we are using? We could have used the 40%, 30%, whatever, but why only 70% and above? So, sir, we would like your comments on the same, sir.
Okay, Dr. Deval. First to take on the 70% alcohol or absolute alcohol or 40% alcohol. Which one is effective? Absolute or 100% alcohol. That should be better, but it is not, because the alcohol needs water in its content so that it can act as a bacterial or viral killer agent. Okay, so some part of water is required. Now it is not 40% or 10% alcohol to save the alcohol. It should be 62 to 70% approximately alcohol content should be there, so that it is effective and it kills the bacteria and the viruses that are in the surfaces we want to kill. Okay, and these can have some emollients in it, because the alcohol is irritant to some a person's skin. So emollients can be added up to 1 to 2% for its regular use. Okay, the next part you had asked about is
Hand washing, sir.
hand washing and these how does it help? Hand rubs, how does it help in preventing COVID-19 infection? Okay, so as in my last question, I have discussed that COVID-19 infection protocol starts with standard precaution, then it goes into contact and droplet followed by aerosol. Okay, COVID-19 is spread by contact transmission. That's why, because it survives in surface for certain duration, for certain hours, about 72 hours. Even in coronaviruses, it has been shown for days to survive in surfaces. So it needs to be killed with some agent, or should like alcoholic hand rub or soap, because it's an envelope virus. It can be killed easily with soap or alcoholic hand rubs, so that we do not get ourselves self-inoculated through our nasal mucosa or mouth. Okay, in case of viruses that transmits only by droplet infection also, those droplets can settle in our surfaces, in our hands, and that can lead to self-inoculation to us, leading to infection. So hand sanitization using alcoholic hand rubs or hand wash with soap, properly done, goes in a large way to prevent COVID-19 infection, as well as it is the most important step in prevention of hospital infection, hospital associated infections. And to perform it, we have to remember that we have to perform all these steps mandatory for the hand hygiene. If I can repeat those, you can also try those so that you remember that and perform those steps whenever you perform hand hygiene. And these steps should take at least 1 minute, not less than that. So to perform, first you have to take a plentiful of the sanitizer in your palm or a soap. Then first you have to rub the hands like palm to palm, okay, thoroughly. After that, you can use one palm over the dorsum of the other hand and rub it like this and do it vice versa, okay. After that, you can clasp the fingers like this and rub the back of the fingers. These are most missed spaces, okay, like this, okay. After that, you can interlace the fingers and rub it like this. Whether it's soap or alcoholic hand rub, you have to perform this procedure. After that, you catch hold of your thumb and do rotational rubbing, then palm to palm, and then followed by, if it is a hand rub, you have to dry it for 10 to 15 seconds. After drying, you are ready to perform your procedure. Or in case of hand wash, you will wash it, then you can allow it to dry, or you can use a clean sterile towel to dry it off before performing the procedure. Now, you must remember there are 5 moments of hand hygiene. These 5 moments are to be used in your daily clinical practice. These are, first is the before touching a patient. The second is the before performing any procedure, okay. The third is the when you perform any procedure, you may get exposed to some body fluids. Any potential exposure to your body fluids of the patient, you have to perform hand hygiene, okay. The next is after touching the patient, and the 5th one is the after touching any inanimate surface of the patient area. So these 5 moments of hand hygiene, coupled with the proper steps of hand hygiene, you have to perform to keep yourself free from infection and minimizing the risk of infecting other patients.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was very, very enlightening, sir. So one question which comes along with this question is that would you recommend to go for or use hand washing technique with soap, or would you recommend hand sanitizers? Because sir, one question which repeatedly comes when we talk about infection prevention is that recurrent or too much use of hand sanitizers might cause carcinoma in the future, because alcohol is a very potent irritant and a carcinogenic material. So would you prescribe or recommend to go for a hand sanitization with sanitizers, or would you recommend to go for hand washing with soap and lather creation?
I would recommend, it depends on the situation that is available. If you have a sink available in that area, hand washing is the best. It also removes the biological dirt that is present in the hand surfaces after any procedure or touching anything, which doesn't go off with the alcoholic hand rubs. But it is seen that compliance to hand hygiene is poor. The most common reason cited is not availability of sinks. That's why alcoholic hand rubs, their role comes into play in that situation, because it can be kept easily available bedside or in your OPDs or dental clinics, where you can perform hand hygiene repeatedly. For carcinogenicity, definitely hand washing, if it's possible, you can do it. For skin irritation, you can use emollient based hand rubs.
So, sir, when we talk about sanitizers, would you say that it is a myth that when we talk about the fact that no, alcohol-based sanitizers are irritants and they are carcinogens and they might cause problems later on? So would you agree with the statement, or would you say that this is just a myth which is created?
Irritant is not a myth. Irritant, some persons may have allergy to this special component like alcohol, etc. So there they can try using that emollient based one. Those are less irritant. Those are not irritant at all. Okay. And carcinogens, I am not exactly sure about that. Some people are of course saying anybody is skeptical about that, they can go for these hand wash, regular hand wash.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for clearing that up. That will help a lot of dental professionals because it's the easiest part for us. No, sir, we have a sanitizer on the table and we do that pump and then we sanitize and then we go in to do our patient. So
Yes, I have not
definitely,
come across any report of any carcinogenesis by these hand rubs.
sir.
So more may come up later because this use has extensively increased in this COVID era. It's not it.
Sir, true, very true, sir. Sir, one question which comes up again and again is that for healthcare professionals, we say that use N95 mask, N99 mask, FFP2 mask, FFP3 mask. So when we talk about these masking criteria, sir, so what is basically N95, N99 or FFP2 or FFP3? And sir, how do we what is the time duration that we can wear these masks and effectively use them to reduce infection in our clinics when we are looking at patients one-to-one? So your comments on that, sir.
See, these N95s and the FFP2, FFP1, these are kinds of face fit respirators. Okay, we have surgical masks. Just give me a second. We have 3-ply masks. I'll just show if it's clear. We have these 3-ply masks. Okay, these 3-ply masks, they prevent about 60% of the particles. Okay, those particles that are tested, like 0.3 micron sodium chloride particles, 60% of the particles are prevented by this, filtered by this. But these surgical masks, 3-ply masks, they fit snugly into the face. There are leakages. Okay, so there are every chance of getting infection while we are using this kind of masks. So better than these are the face fit respirators, are the FFP1 or FFP2 or the N95, N99s. Now, these FFP2, FFP1 grades are the European Nationals classification. Okay, that those gradings are by European standards. Okay, this is a kind of FFP2 mask. Okay, FFP2 mask. This is a kind of FFP2 mask. This is classified by the European standards, and this is an N95 mask. This is American standard or NIOSH classification gives N95 mask. Okay, now these masks, the N95 mask, they prevent 95% of the particles that are tested 0.3 micron sodium chlorides with its efficacy. What is the efficacy? We'll come to it later. Similarly, in case of European standards, FFP2 grade, that prevents filtrates about 94% of the particles, almost near to the N95 mask efficiency. So they are almost equal in capacity. Efficacy. The FFP2 of European standard and N95 of American standard or the NIOSH standard. FFP1 is a little lesser. They filter about 60 to 80% of the particles that are tested. Okay, but they fit very easily with the very good kind of fitting with the face. So there is no leakage. Okay, so to prevent viral infection, this COVID-19, the best ones are the N95 or the FFP2 masks, which prevent 95% of the particles, or the next higher grades like FFP3, which prevents 99% of the particles, or the N99 grades. Okay, to save ourselves, to save our healthcare workers. Anything regarding this?
Yes,
if the questions
sir.
come up, I can clarify.
So one continuation question. So won't the amount of filtration capacity of the mask, won't the person wearing it feel more claustrophobic or difficulty in breathing? Because This is a common thing which occurs when we are ourselves as healthcare professionals, we are wearing masks or the other person is wearing masks, and immediately when COVID times, the COVID numbers go down, people get a little careless. And one of the reasons of commonly not wearing a mask is कि sir मुझे घुटन होती है इसलिए मैं मास्क नहीं पहनता हूँ. Very common sort of a reason which a patient will give, or even many healthcare professionals will give. So any tips or tricks regarding it, how to combat that?
Well, to combat that is to train yourself with the mask. Okay, proper fitting N95 mask or FFP2 mask. How long you can sustain it? Time duration I forgot. I'll come to that. Okay, so definitely these are a little more claustrophobic. These N95 masks, N99 may be more claustrophobic. I have not used that. Okay, but when we want absolute prevention from these COVID-19 like viruses, we have to go for the best ones like N95 or FFP2. When the infection rate may be a little lesser, you can opt for a little lesser or very less. Then you may opt for FFP1. Even I also take FFP1, which filtrates only 60 to 80%. There is less surety of me getting infected, but still that when the infection rate is less and I go outdoors for jogging or anything, I like to put on that because definitely that is less claustrophobic. But when you want yourself to be absolutely prevented from getting infected, you should put not less than N95 or FFP2. That should be clear. Now for the time duration, I forgot your earlier question. Time duration that is recommended earlier to COVID-19 pandemic was 8 years continuous use. After that, you have to dispose of the mask. But as COVID-19 started last year, there was extreme shortage of the mask and healthcare workers had to go without mask even to treat the patients. Okay. In that situation, the different healthcare agencies, they notified that extended use is permissible. Now, extended use can be of many types. One is extended use more than 8 hours. That is best when you are dealing with the same kind of patient. Okay, and after some time you just discard it. There are other the other methods of reuse, like using some sterilization procedures, like using hot air oven. Okay, people have come up with the policies of using hot air oven for N95 masks, like 70 degrees centigrade. You heat it up to 70 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes. After that, it is sterile. Then you can use it for next turn. Okay, after using one turn. But I have practically used that, and I found that the rubber strips, they get damaged. Okay, but in case of 3M N95 mask, where there are elastic strips, there this hot air oven method is quite suitable. Okay, then there are other methods. The other methods, best one is that some of the studies have carried out using ultraviolet radiations like UVC. UVC is germicidal to the bacteria and the viruses. Okay, and UVC is the around 260 nanometer wavelength that can be used to sterilize this mask, and that up to 10 to 20 cycles of mask reprocessing can be done with the help of this UVC sterilizers. These are small kind of sterilizers with UVC light in them. But only thing you have to take care in this is that in peppers, it has been shown that 10 to 20 cycles, not to go beyond that, because it is to save yourself. The other thing is, the one side in which the light is exposed, it will kill the virus, but the other side is under shadow. So you have to remove it. You have to steal the side. The other side have to be exposed to the UV light for similar duration to be effective. Okay, so these are the two reuse methods. The other reuse methods which AIIMS New Delhi came up, which has been regularly used, who don't have this facility of hot air oven or UV sterilizers is using 4 masks at a time. How? You issue 4 masks and you just keep them in 4 envelopes. First day you use 1. After using for 8 hours or your shift duty, you keep it in that envelope. And the next day you use the number 2 mask. Okay. Next day, number 3 mask. Next day, number 4 mask. Okay. And 5th day again, you use the first mask. Similarly, about 4 to 5 cycles can go on with this mask. And this has been quite effective in minimizing the wastage or use of large number of N95 masks. Any questions in this?
No, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That was very, very informative. And it will definitely help us. Even in our medical college, sir, I'm working with Government Medical College, Shahjahanpur. And wherein, sir, we are using this methodology of AIIMS Delhi only. So we take these 4 masks and day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And then again on the 5th day, we use the first mask. So we use that cycle for 1 month. And then, sir, we discard those masks and we try to get new ones. So
Yes.
that is one part which got cleared. Right, sir. So now I would request our Dr. Hridesh Singh Surya, sir, to continue with the questions. We have some, because we were live streaming on YouTube also. So certain other social media platforms will have questions there as well. So Hridesh, sir, will be dealing with those questions from YouTube. Sir, I request you to please take over and proceed with the session, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Deval.
Thank
Good
you,
evening,
Dr.
sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Anupam, sir. Sir, a few questions regarding the mask, the use of N95 mask. What are the masks should be used by like administrators, clerical staff? Is there any category like doctors should wear this mask, common people should wear this mask, ward boy should wear, which mask ward boy should wear, or the sanitization staff, nursing staff, सबके लिए अलग-अलग masks or one mask for all?
Sir, this is the Government of India, Ministry of Health and Welfare is continuously updating these informations regarding the use of masks by different category of staff. Okay. The doctors, they directly deal with the patients. They have to use N95 in case of COVID scenario. We are discussing about COVID scenario only. The nursing staff, other technical staff who are in your clinic, because you are doing aerosol generating procedure, which is very risky, they have to use N95 mask. Okay. And by standard definition or standard guidelines, those persons who takes the temperature of the patients who come to your clinic to screen them, they have to be given FFP2 or N95 masks. Okay, because they are at risk and you don't know if they are in the person is infective or not. Next comes sanitization workers. Yes, sanitization workers, they will deal with the waste that were generated due to aerosol generating procedures. I myself would like them to use N95 masks. Even in our BMW staff and the sanitation staff also, they are also given N95 masks because they are dealing with the hazardous waste. Okay, any aerosol generated can enter their respiratory tract and cause infection. Now, regarding the respiratory desk staff, sorry, the desk staff, that is who is help desk staff, help desk staff who is going to first face the patient. That is also, he or she is also your team member. You want him or her to be safe during a COVID pandemic, like we have seen in third wave. Most of the staff were getting sick. Okay, so depending on the situation, you should try to provide this N95 or FFP2. Now the administrators, if they are not in direct contact with the patients or patient help desk, they can be given the surgical mask, as the Ministry of Health guidelines of India also suggest the same, because they are working in office.
Okay. Thank you. So next question is from Dr. Alka. She wants to know about the use of double masking, how it really helps.
Okay, double masking is basically It's an alternative to those who cannot use these face fit respirators or N95 masks, who feel claustrophobic. Okay. Double proper effective double masking, as CDC defines, you should use 1 3-ply mask, like 3-ply surgical mask. Double mask doesn't mean 2 cloth masks. The other one can be a cloth mask. Now, how will you wear both of them? You'll put on the surgical 3-ply mask that is going to give you about 60 to 80% protection when properly fitted. Okay, first you will put that 3-ply mask, surgical mask. This is likely to filter the viruses, okay, up to 60% or so. Above that, you'll use cloth mask that gives a better fit usually. So this will help this surgical mask to fit properly in your mouth, in your face. Okay, so that will prevent the leakage of air. So this way double masking is beneficial than a single mask for people who cannot use these N95 and FFP2 masks for being claustrophobic. So this is the way. The inner one should be a surgical 3-ply proper mask, and the outer one should be a cloth mask that will fit your surgical mask, your protector properly. So this is the basis of double masking, not to cloth mask, not to surgical masks, because that is not going to fit properly. Okay.
Okay. The next question is a common question by Dr. Pooja and Dr. Ajit Kumar. They want to know the efficacy of face shield. How effective is it in protection?
It is definitely effective, because these, as reported, these infection, COVID-19 infection can occur, can get into us through our nostrils or mouth, as well as our conjunctiva. Okay, so the face shields prevent a lot. Even in case if you are not putting on a properly fitted face fit respirator, this face shield will give an additional protection, so that any person who is talking to you, his viral content is not directly coming into your face. Face shield is definitely protective in case of COVID pandemic situation. Also in your clinics, when you are performing aerosol generating procedure, face shield is definitely required to prevent any aerosol spurge to your face.
So which PPT is continuation of the question, which face shield is better?
Which face shield is better? Any face shield
GS.
that gives a clear vision to you for your work. Okay, then it should be properly fitted. Okay, properly fitted and does not cause any discomfort. It can be a glass one, or it can be a transparency based one also. Even handmade transparency based face shields are also very good. Only thing is that you have to make some holes above in the thermocol or whatever you put, so that there is no fogging. So a face shield should give you better, good vision. There should not be any fogging. So aeration should be proper.
The GSM, like many companies, they are manufacturing based on GSM. So the GSM doesn't have any role to play in the face shield.
Face shields and PPE kits have got some certification criteria. Okay, this had been done because during the first wave, many companies started to prepare all kinds of PPE kits, and tried to sell that. That is not safe for us. Okay, sometimes we used to test that by putting water. Water will pass through that, which it should not. The government of India had came up with those guidelines. GSM or Citra, that is a textile manufacturing company of Coimbatore under Textile Ministry. Then DRD, they would give some unique certification to the items that are being used for PPE production, like mal-blown fabrics or these PPE cloths or whatever it is. So these certifications are must you should look for these certifications when you buy PPE kits for your and your staff.
Okay. So next question is from Dr. Urvashi. She wants to know, should PPE kit be worn for every patient? As new PPE kit for every patient?
See, this also depends on the situation. Definitely it's expensive new PPE kits for every patient, that you have to balance it. Then PPE kit for every patient. It depends on the situation. If the situation is like the second wave we had, like every patient we are meeting, okay, that may be infected. Okay, 60 to 80% where people are infected. In that case, definitely it would be advised to wear PPE. PPE means full gown. I meant that only. Okay, but this PPE also means N95 face shields. This you should prepare for. You should wear for every patient. This N95 face shields, gloves. This you should put for every patient. Gowns, because you are doing aerosol generating procedures. Then coverall PPE, that you have to weigh the risk situation. Is it clear?
Yes.
PPE are the equipments that are worn to keep ourselves safe from infectious diseases. This is what has been defined. Now, PPE includes these masks, the face shields, the gloves, our gowns, our shoe covers that you'll need in your dental clinic very often. All these are included in PPE. You have to weigh the risk at that particular situation and go for all kinds of PPEs. Those you need must.
And sir, how to overcome the difficulty in performing dental procedures with that PPE kit on?
That definitely you have to help me. You have to help me. How can you save yourself as well as perform the dental procedures with the PPE? You have to make a balance. Surgeons use HIV kit. Okay, that should be also user friendly for you. Have you tried this HIV kits sort of things, which are not complete coverall PPEs? With that, they use N95s. With that, they use face shields. So you have to find out what's suitable for your situation.
Okay.
Is it helpful?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understood. Now, I had a personal experience where I was wearing this PPE kit and I was doing a single sitting RCT. So it took about 2.5 hours for me to get completed. I was completely dehydrated. And
I can
was
understand.
on the verge of fainting.
I can understand. You should take a break in that situation. You should take a break in that situation. I can totally understand.
Okay, so we'll break down the procedure. We'll take a break in between.
That also you can say if it is possible or not, but it's a tough situation.
Right. Okay, sir. हमारा hand sanitization हो गया, mask हो गया, PPE हो गया. Clinics. What about how to sanitize our clinics? The operatory, the OT area, the waiting area.
Okay. The cleaning, the housekeeping staff has to have to be trained properly regarding the cleaning procedures. Okay. If an infected patient is operated, you have to get it cleaned immediately after that. If not all the cases are infected, then you have to get your clinic cleaned at the end of the day. Maybe in their break also, they can also do one sort of cleaning. Okay. So for that, for cleaning, you have to train your housekeeping staff to use either detergents, the floor cleaning or surface cleaning. They can use detergents or 1% hypochlorite solution. 1% hypochlorite solution. They should use one kind of system that is called 3-bucket system. Okay, 3-bucket system in which you have the 3 kind of solutions in the 3 buckets. First will have detergent and water. Second will have only water. Third will have hypochlorite solution like this. The first you will rinse, you will use mop with the first bucket where detergent and water is there, and you'll clean it. Then after that, you will rinse it in the second one, in which only water is there, okay, and we'll clean the same area again. Then in the third, he will use hypochlorite solution, then clean it, okay.
1%
In this cleaning, yes, 1% hypochlorite solution. In this cleaning, he has to go from the innermost to the outermost side. This one thing has to be remembered. Innermost to the outermost side, and this cleaning is unidirectional. It will not come like this. Okay, this the housekeeping staff has to be trained properly. Okay, for your the dental seat as well as in any anesthetic equipment, that has to be cleaned with the help of, if there are corrosive items, that has to be cleaned with 70% alcohol, okay, or if it can be cleaned with 1% hypochlorite, that is better, okay.
Right. So, how effective are these HEPA filters? Should we
HEPA filters-
have it in our practice?
What kind of HEPA filter and what is the system that you have kept? It is in your room or in some machine?
No, I'm asking if we should keep HEPA filters, and if yes, which ones are good?
Yes, I wanted to clarify. HEPA filter means air purifiers machines. Those that are available these days with some vendors. Some vendors are coming up, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Because
Okay.
what is happening is when the COVID pandemic broke out in its
Mm.
form that we see today, what
Mm.
happened was a lot of dental clinics immediately purchased air purifiers.
Mm,
And
mm.
so it sort of like became a norm for other dental surgeons that no, we have to have an air purifier in the clinic or in the operatory, wherein the patient will come and see that air purifier. So, sir, we actually want to know about the efficacy of that basic air purifier rather than it being for only a cosmetic purpose. Because the patient is entering and he's saying, yes, there is an air purifier. But how effective is it? To break that myth, sir, we need your expertise.
See, to clear the doubt or clear the fact, first I should tell that I think no regulatory body is available for the air purifiers that are being claimed to be removing the COVID virus from the environment. Okay, this is one point. Second, we have personally came across two of the vendors who came with the air purifiers with their certificate, with their not certifications, with their reports, etc., that this is cleaning the COVID virus from the environment. Okay, on our analysis, this is from personal experience only. On our analysis, we found that how to assess that when we have kept it here, that it is removing COVID virus. How many COVID virus? Is there any indicator? Is there anything to test? Like we test for bacteria in the air in a OT. Okay, we do that by impinging air in a culture media, where next day we grow the bacteria. We know that, okay, this much bacteria was there. How do we quantify that? We have questioned them. They could not answer, but definitely it's a good work. There is a use. I'll come to that. If I forget, just remind me. How is it useful? Okay, so we have asked them these questions. They told that they will come back with those answers properly formulated. Then there is no published literature we could find regarding these air purifiers in PubMed or any other authentic journals. Okay, so those also we have asked. When these things come up, I would definitely like to have one air purifier for my setup. Okay, but now to tell you how is it helpful. For this, I have to go back to my first question. I have told that infection control procedures, protocols require standard precautions followed by transmission-based precautions. Those are three: contact, droplet, airborne. Third is the airborne. In airborne, the respiratory, ventilation, everything has to be taken care of in a setup. Clear? Okay. So in your dental clinic, it's a closed system generally. You cannot have a proper ventilation like it is advisable for wards or patient doctor OPDs. It should have a door, and opposite to that should be a window, so that air current flows from one door and goes out through the other. What happens in that? In that, the viral content in the virus content in the room that gets diluted, that goes out. That leads to lesser chance of infection. because COVID infection is a result of two things. Two things is, one is time of exposure, next thing is concentration of virus in the environment. So in your clinic, in most of the clinics, probably it is not possible to have this kind of doors opposite to them, a window, and keep it open when you are working. Okay, in that situation, these artificial systems, if they are effective at all, if they reduce the virus from the environment, that will be helping us, because that will lead to dilution of the virus, lower viral concentration in the environment. So I am also waiting for some regulatory body or clarity on the use of these air purifiers, which they are claiming it has HEPA filter inside it, which takes in the air, interrupts the virus, and releases fresh air or virus-free air. Or some of them have UVC chambers in it. UVC kills the virus in the air going inside, and then it comes out. So there should be some quantification. When it comes, it is definitely going to help in those closed rooms. Anything else, sir?
No,
So
sir,
how
thank you so
effective
much.
are exhaust
That
fans?
really clarifies things for all of us, I think. So one question which we've been getting time and again, and which is like sort of a tough question to deal with, is how to catch or how to find out if the mask is actually a genuine mask, or is it a copy mask or a counterfeit mask? Because a lot of times, sir, a lot of people will come to us, like in the dental operatory, and they will say, I have this set of masks. It could be a 95, it could be a 99, and they will say that there is a fixed rate for this mask, like I will charge so and so for so many pieces. The other person will come and say, oh, he's charging so and so, I'll charge less than that. So how do we determine that whose masks are real, whose are fake?
Okay, to tell that how I check, I normally go for N95 masks, okay, from some reputed companies. Anyway, I'm not naming them. Let us go into general things. Okay, these N95 NEOS masks have some NEOS written in it. NIOSH. Remember the spelling. Some of the companies' masks will not have NEOS written on it. So you know that it is not N95. Okay, it is written N95, but NEOS is not written. Some will have spelling correct, spelling incorrect. NIOSH will have some other arrangements. It is there. Okay, so those are fake. NEOS not written, but N95. So that is wrong. But in case of FFP2, you don't have this NEOS certification. There are some other certifications. Okay, some other certifications, like you will, when you come across this mask, you'll come to know. There are other things to check. In case of NEOS certified, there is some model number, TC number, that you can check in your in internet whether that is genuine or not. Okay, then there are other parameters to check. Some of the masks will claim, mask manufacturers will claim that the masks are useful for children less than 6 years, which is not available till date. So that is not proper mask. Okay, you should get doubt that it is not a proper mask, fake mask. That's why he's claiming that it is useful for children. Next thing is, most of the masks will come with ear loop strips, not this head, the ones behind head. Okay, the ear loop strips, NEOS never certifies these masks with the ear loop stripes. It has to be here, the headbands. Okay, even in European national standards, FFP1, FFP2, I have not found ear loop strip wala mask. Okay, so it should be that kind of mask. So you have to choose it carefully. Next, after putting a mask, you have to test, seal test every time. Okay, how is that done? I would like to demonstrate. Okay, so you put a mask like this, you hold it like this, place it, then put the bands behind it. Okay, after that, you place your hand without touching the mask or eyes just above where the mask fits to your face. Then blow. Okay. So some air is coming out. Okay. So some air is coming out. My fingers can feel it. I'm fixing it. I'm doing this again. No air is coming out. Similarly to the lower part also, you have to check with your finger. Okay. So after purchasing an N95 and while before using, you have to check this very important seal test. Every time you have to test this seal test and fit it properly with your face. This is going to save you. One is N95, the other is seal test. Anything else, sir?
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That was extremely enlightening because a lot of time this problem does come in. So it will be helpful for all of dental professionals and all of the people who are watching to at least segregate between the fakes and the original ones. So this will help us greatly, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That was a very important question and very pertinent also. The information that you provide will help a lot of people, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So I would now request Rajkumar sir to please take over, and from the questions that we have been receiving on other social media platforms, he can continue with those, sir. Rajkumar sir, please take over.
Thanks, doctor. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, another question is, अगर whose mask, कौन सा मास्क ज्यादा बेटर वो है, क्योंकि कई लोगों की प्रॉब्लम ये है, उन्होंने लिखा था कि मास्क लगाने के बाद ग्लास पे फॉग्स आ जाते हैं, तो जिससे दिखता नहीं है क्लियरली.
उसके लिए मैंने अभी सील टेस्ट दिखाया था सर. तो अगर आप लोगों ने प्रॉपर N95 या FFP2 खरीदा है तो वो फॉगिंग आने से फॉगिंग आने नहीं चाहिए अगर आपने इसको सील टेस्ट करके इसको फिट कर लिया है. और अगर किसी ने फेक मास्क दे दिया है, मैं दिखाता हूँ अभी. हाँ, फेक मास्क दे दिया है लाइक दिस ईयर लूप मास्क, इसमें फॉगिंग होगा ही होगा, इसको फिट भी नहीं कर पाएंगे. तो आप लोगों को चेक करना है, ये बहुत जरूरी है. प्रॉपर N95 या FFP2 खरीदना और उसको सील टेस्ट के साथ हर बार यूज करना, तो आपको फॉगिंग नहीं होगी. और रीयूज में दूसरी पॉइंट है सर, जो रीयूज में बता रहा था, रीयूज में अगर तीसरी चौथी बार आपको ये फॉगिंग रिकरेंटली आ रहा है, इसका मतलब आपका ये सील खराब हो गया है, तो आपको उसको फेंक देना है. रीयूज में ये चीज ध्यान रखनी है. अगर आपकी सील टेस्ट फेल हो रहा है 2-3 बार यूज करने के बाद, वो मास्क फेंक देनी है, दूसरी लेनी है, क्योंकि सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है आपको अपने आप को प्रोटेक्ट करना.
सेकंड क्वेश्चन इज कि एसी काफी बीच में आया था मामला कि एसी की वजह से भी कोरोना का इन्फेक्शन बढ़ रहा है या घट रहा है, क्या ये मतलब इस पे कुछ है कि?
सर एसी के वजह से क्यों, कोरोना पेशेंट अगर वहां पे होगा,
हाँ, कोरोना का मतलब
तो हाँ, मैं एसी मतलब कोरोना वायरस मेरे रेस्पिरेटरी के साथ बाहर निकलेगा तभी एसी इस पे इफेक्ट करेगा, है ना सर. एसी का इफेक्शन आएगा. एसी का कोई गलती नहीं है, गलती तो कोरोना वायरस और जिसपे है वो अगर एसी यूज कर रहा है. अगर किसी को कोरोना वायरस इन्फेक्शन है और वो एसी यूज कर रहा है अपने रूम में, तो उसके अपने लिए भी गलती कर रहा है. अपने लिए भी कैसे कर रहा है, क्योंकि वो एयर रिसर्कुलेशन होगा और वो वायरल लोड ज्यादा बढ़ सकता है, उसकी इन्फेक्शन सीवियर हो सकता है. तो एसी की गलती नहीं है सर. किसी को अगर एसी कोरोना वायरस इन्फेक्शन है तो उसको एसी बंद करके रखना चाहिए, खुद की सेफ्टी के लिए सर. और अगर दूसरा बंदा वहां पे आया तब तो उस पर तो जाएगा, एयर रिसर्कुलेट होगा.
सर एग्जॉस्ट फैन काफी बेटर ऑप्शन है.
हाँ सर, बंद कर देना चाहिए.
एग्जॉस्ट फैन बेटर ऑप्शन है, सारे कोरोना बाहर चले जाएंगे. एग्जॉस्ट फैन,
हाँ, एग्जॉस्ट फैन इज बेटर डेफिनेटली. एग्जॉस्ट फैन इज डेफिनेटली बेटर, क्योंकि आपको वेल वेंटिलेटेड रूम में, अगर कोई पेशेंट इन्फेक्टेड है उनको वेल वेंटिलेटेड रूम में रहना है, ठीक है. और वेल वेंटिलेटेड रूम घर में मिलना मुश्किल है, क्योंकि एक साइड के दरवाजा बंद रहेगी, क्योंकि आपकी जो आप अगर इन्फेक्टेड, मैं अगर इन्फेक्टेड हूँ, मेरा जो वायरस है, मैं नहीं चाहूंगा मेरे घर वाले पे पहुंचे वो दरवाजा खुल के, क्योंकि दूसरी विंडो खुला है और उसमें एयर वैसे वेंटिलेशन होना मुश्किल है. एक अगर एग्जॉस्ट फैन है वो डेफिनेटली हेल्प करेगा एक घर की वायरल लोड कम करने की.
सर हम अगर वैक्सीनेटेड हैं डबल डोज से भी, कितना % चांसेज है सर कि हम सेफ हैं? सर कोई कोरोना पेशेंट आता है जो हमें नहीं पता कि मतलब उसको है या नहीं है, क्योंकि हर बार हम टेस्ट के लिए तो नहीं कह सकते कि और टेस्ट करा के आओ, टेस्ट करा के आओ।
सर एक चीज तो है कि जो वायरस वैक्सीन है सर, वैक्सीन बहुत असरदार है, हमें सेफ वैक्सीन ही कर सकता है, पर इन्फेक्शन से बचाता नहीं है। इन्फेक्शन तो सर हो ही सकता है, उससे बस मास्क 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 मास्क। जैसे
जो वेरिएंट सारे चेंज हो रहे हैं सर, इस वजह से वैक्सीन का एफिकेसी का मतलब उसमें कुछ ऐसा रोल है क्या?
सर मैं वही बता रहा हूँ कि जो इन्फेक्शन प्रिवेंट करने के लिए वैक्सीन की कोई एफिकेसी नहीं है, आपको मास्क ही बचाएगा। हाँ, इन्फेक्शन होने के बाद ये देखा गया है सर, सेकेंड वेव में भी बहुत लोग जो वैक्सीनेटेड थे उनमें इन्फेक्शन जो है मतलब उतनी ज्यादा सीवियर नहीं हुई। तो आगे भी हम ये उम्मीद रख रहे हैं सर, वैक्सीन हमें सीवियर इन्फेक्शन से बचाएगा।
सर एसी वगैरह जो भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट वगैरह है या क्लिनिक से, उसे सैनिटाइज कैसे करेंगे सर?
एसी वगैरह सैनिटाइज वो रेगुलर क्लीनिंग कराना पड़ेगा टाइम टू टाइम सर। और दूसरा जो है कुछ केमिकल्स आते हैं सर, BSH LS करके क्वार्टरनी अमोनियम कंपाउंड, BS 500 वगैरह, ये सारे अगर उस रूम में चला देंगे फॉगिंग वगैरह करा के, तो आई थिंक एसी के अंदर तक भी वो हो जानी चाहिए, क्योंकि वो इंस्ट्रूमेंट फ्रेंडली है BSH LS, उसमें हाइपो वगैरह तो यूज नहीं कर पाएंगे आप शायद।
मेटल
मैन्युफैक्चरर्स इंस्ट्रक्शन देखना पड़ेगा सर
ये
इसको।
अलग
सर
इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स वगैरह, जो प्लास्टिक या जो मेटल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स वगैरह हैं,
प्लास्टिक
उन लोगों को
इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स
स्पेशलाइजेशन
शायद
चाहिए।
आप हाइपो वगैरह यूज कर सकते हैं, वो कोरोसिव नहीं है। और जिसमें नहीं कर सकते मेटालिक इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स, उसमें 70% एल्कोहल। फर्स्ट वेव की शुरुआत में हमारे पास प्लम्बर हमारे कोविड हॉस्पिटल का आया था प्रॉब्लम लेके, सर हाइपो से सब साफ करने के लिए बोल रहे हैं, सर मेरे तो काम ही बंद हो जाएगा। तो उसको बताया गया कि मेटालिक इंस्ट्रूमेंट है तुम्हारे, उसको 70% एल्कोहल से, तो हाइपो ही नहीं है, आप अपने जजमेंट यूज करके कोरोसिव आइटम में 70% एल्कोहल यूज कर सकते हैं सर। और
आजकल जो
जो न्यू आइटम्स, हाँ बताइए सर।
आजकल जो क्लिनिक्स में जो आ रहे हैं कि यूवी चैम्बर्स वगैरह, यूवी रेज वगैरह क्लिनिक डिसइंफेक्ट करने के लिए, कितना इफेक्टिव होगा?
सर ये मैंने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले बताया था, ये इफेक्टिव होगा, पर उसकी थोड़ी सी रेगुलेटरी गाइडलाइंस वगैरह आने दीजिए, फिर मुझे भी अच्छा लगेगा वो लेने के लिए, क्योंकि वो डाइल्यूट कर देगा। क्लिनिक वगैरह आपकी क्लोज होते हैं ना सर, वहाँ पे वायरस की लोड डाइल्यूट जरूर कर सकता है, पर वो थोड़ी सी कितना करता है एफिकेसी, ये सारा चीज क्लैरिटी लाने दीजिए। कुछ मैन्युफैक्चरर्स आए थे हमारे पास, हमने ये सारे क्वेश्चंस पुट किया है उनको कि आप इनकी आंसर्स लेके आइए, कैसे काम करता है, जब यूज में है आपको कैसे पता लगेगा कि सच में ये कितना कोविड वायरस हटा रहा है। तो ये सारा चीज जानना जरूरी है, नहीं तो हम खुद ही इन्फेक्ट हो जाएंगे। उसको रख के मैं खुद भी मास्क हटा लूंगा, क्योंकि क्लॉस्ट्रोफोबिक मैं भी होता हूँ।
सर वायरस लोड सरफेस से कितने मतलब हाइट पे ज्यादा रहता है? मतलब आई मीन वायरस का लोड सबसे अधिक कहाँ पे होगा, किस एरिया, मतलब किस हाइट तक? नियर अबाउट 2 फीट, 5 फीट, 7 फीट, 8 फीट, या कुछ ऐसा है क्या गाइडेंस वगैरह कुछ?
सर मैं क्वेश्चन पूरा समझाने में ये कर रहा हूँ, मतलब मिट्टी से या जमीन से कितना ऊपर तक वायरस वहां पे होता होगा, ये ना सर। वो वायरस की ये 3 मोड ऑफ ट्रांसमिशन है। एक तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ट्रांसमिशन में जो ड्रॉपलेट्स हमारे बन के नीचे गिरेंगे तो कॉन्टेक्ट में जमीन में ही होगा, वहां पे टच होके हमारे फेस माउथ कहीं पे आया तो जाएगा। नेक्स्ट इज ड्रॉपलेट्स थोड़े ज्यादा दूर नहीं जाते, थोड़े दूर तक, मतलब जहाँ पे खासा उसके बाद वो नीचे आ जाएगा। पर तीसरा जो है एरोसोल, जो लेस देन 5 माइक्रोन साइज के है, वो काफी दूर तक और एयर करंट के साथ डिपेंड करता है। वो मतलब अगर फैन चल रहा है या एसी चल रहा है तो काफी ऊपर हाइट तक भी ये हो सकता है। तो तीनों मोड से ट्रांसमिट होता है ये, तो हो सकता है कितना हाइट तक डिपेंड करेगा सर, वो एरोसोल जनरेट होने के बाद आपकी एयर करंट में कितना ऊपर तक ले गया है।
That's all questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any
So
other
thank you so
questions,
much
Dr.
for
Priyanka?
that session. That was extremely
Nice session.
enlightening for us all. And sir, एक last question sir जाते जाते जो हम आपसे जानेंगे, आपका expert opinion लेंगे. Sir, कोई tips and tricks, any tips and tricks that you would recommend to the general public, doctors, dental surgeons, healthcare supporting staff as to how to keep safe. What tips and tricks would a person use or an employee to basically be safe in this current pandemic situation? What is your take on it, sir? As a microbiologist, as a specialist in the field, what is your take on it, sir?
It is the same as Dr. Suryakant sir had told initially. मैं उसको SMS नाम से देता हूँ, SMS, उसमें एक V जुड़ जाएगी. SMS is social distancing, बहुत ज्यादा गैदरिंग और क्राउड में नहीं जाना है, दूरी रखनी है, ठीक है, सेफ डिस्टेंस रखनी है. देन मास्क, प्रॉपर मास्क, सील टेस्ट वगैरह के साथ. देन सैनिटाइजेशन, हैंड सैनिटाइजेशन प्रॉपरली, क्योंकि हैंड सैनिटाइजेशन नहीं करेंगे तो हमारा घंटे में, अभी मैं जो बात कर रहा था, शायद कितने बार मैंने माउथ टच किया होगा, बहुत ज्यादा बार करते हैं हम लोग. तो ये बहुत ज्यादा ये होता है कि कहीं से वायरस ले लिया हमने, म्यूकस मेम्ब्रेन में ये कर दिया. तो सैनिटाइजेशन बहुत जरूरी है. देन वैक्सीनेशन. These are the.
Sir, one other question.
Sir.
आफ्टर कोविड जो कॉम्प्लिकेशंस आ रहे हैं, किसी के मतलब चेस्ट में पेन हो रहा है, या किसी को खांसी भी अभी भी आ रही है, या मतलब कोई जो प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही हैं अभी 2-3 महीनों से, डॉक्टर को दिखाने के बाद ये हो रहा है कि नहीं कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, 2-3 महीने में धीरे धीरे रिकवर हो जाएगा, उसके लिए क्या प्रिकॉशन है सर?
सर उसके लिए प्रिकॉशन तो आई थिंक सूर्यकांत सर अच्छा से बता सकते थे, बट मैं यही बताऊंगा, हमें इन्फेक्शन से बच के रहना है, क्योंकि कोविड क्या क्या करता है, हर वेब में क्या कहाँ इन्फेक्ट कर रहा है, क्या इफेक्ट कर रहा है, बहुत मुश्किल है बता पाना. बाकी सर ने बताया था एक चीज, वो बोलूंगा मैं, योगा, प्राणायाम, ये सारा बहुत असरदार है. इम्यूनिटी, डाइट, एवरीथिंग जो सर ने बताया था वो डेफिनेटली इफेक्टिव है. सर
डॉक्टर प्रियंका, कंटिन्यू.
Thank you so much, sir. That was absolutely an amazing session, and we learned a lot. And I think we got a lot of our queries, which we face day in, day out. We got them quenched, and I think this will help to protect us all. Sir, tips and tricks I took from you, I will take back to Shajapur. I'll teach it to my center in Government Medical College, Shajapur. I am, sir, nominated as one of the trainers for the IPC protocol. So this will help me also to teach them and keep them safe in my center. So thank you so much, sir. It was absolutely amazing. Over to Priyanka, ma'am. Ma'am, please take over.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your wonderful knowledge and your time in a very short time.
Thank you for giving the opportunity
to invite you again. And from our organization, we would like to share a token of appreciation, a certificate on a screen. Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you, Max Dental Skills Conclave. And thank you, Dr. Deval. Thank you, Dr. Hidayesh. Thank you, Dr. Raj.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Arpita.
And sir, very sorry for disturbing you and like giving you these tough questions to handle. I know that they won't be easy questions for you to handle also.
No, I enjoyed answering those. I really enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
So we can leave now, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
sir.
डॉक्टर सूर्या दो क्यों दिख रहे हैं?
दो दिख रहा हूँ मैं?
डॉक्टर अर्पिता भी आप ही दिख रहे हैं. अच्छा, आ गई. वो नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम लग रहा है. हाँ, अच्छा.
For a group pic.
Cameras on.
For group pic, please on your camera. Everyone, please put on your camera for group pic. I request everyone put on your camera for a group pic. Okay. Dr. Kanchan, Mohammad Chaudhary, Dr. Mandeep, Dr. Pankaj, Dr. Madan Mohan, Dr. Anand Jain, Parinita, Dr. Monica, Dr. Tanuja, Dr. Atul, okay, Dr. Arpita, Dr. Vikram Anand, Dr. Atul Ranjan, Dr. Pallavi, Dr. Ajit Kumar, Dr. Sonali Saha,
Dr. Atul
thank you,
Ranjan is
ma'am.
also our
Thank
junior.
you, Dr. Sally, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Actually, the electricity of our area has gone. So,
Okay.
Varshita has given me one option. तो मैं mirror के आगे ये रख के उसके reflection में that is why this black thing
Thank
is
you so
coming.
much, ma'am. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, ma'am.
The connectivity just went off because there is no electricity in my area at the
Thank you,
moment. I
ma'am.
think something went. नहीं, नहीं. But it is very nice effort. I must.
How was the
Yeah, I listened all that. In fact, from morning, I've been continuously listening to this. This is such a great effort. And Dr. Nupam to is faculty with us. So I know his caliber, the way he does everything with wholeheartedly. Especially in COVID times, the whole team of Ram Manohar Lohia has been, on their toes to give the best what we have. And thank you, Priyanka, for putting up the whole IDA team, whole Max team for such a great effort and continue with such a good thing again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. Anybody else wants to say anything? Dr. Aarti,
Dr. Akansha.
Dr. Akansha. Hi.
Hi, Priyanka, how are you?
Good.
Thank you for this informative lecture, and this is my first time. But now, from now, I'm sure that I will be a regular participant of all these lectures.
Great.
Thank you.
Akansha Singh said thank you to me. You
Yeah,
forget.
Thank you, Arpita. Thank you, Arpita. Finally, तुम्हारी डांट के बाद.
Dr. Pallavi Mittal, Dr. Aarti.
Very informative and very good lecture. हम dental practitioners के लिए बहुत बढ़िया.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
डॉक्टर कुणाल शाहवाज तो है लेकिन कुछ बोल नहीं रहे हैं और डॉक्टर अतुल रंजन अपने जूनियर हैं लेकिन फिर भी वो भी आ नहीं रहे हैं सामने.
अतुल बॉस कैमरा ऑन करो.
अतुल रंजन को मेरे फोन लगा रहा हूँ मोटे.
डॉक्टर अजीत कुमार,
ये भी अपने कॉलेज से हैं.
सर.
ऐसे कुछ प्रॉब्लम है लग रहा नेट में.
अतुल बॉस आते हुए.
अगर गुड इवनिंग डॉक्टर अतुल. काफी दिनों बाद दिखाई दिए.
Thank you, everyone.
ग्रुप फोटो हो गई.
कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
ग्रुप फोटो.
हाँ, सब लोग कैमरा ऑन करें. ग्रुप फोटो.
डॉक्टर अतुल बोल नहीं रहे भाई, क्या हो गया?
अतुल बॉस अनम्यूट करो.